Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Alright, so hmm, in some this particular part, in a lot of ways, reminded me of yesterday's scene with Wyatt and Jake. It was completely thrown in there. It seemed virtually pointless, and the scene with Stella, Deanna, and whatever that girl's name was, while it was sad, and why I understand that as far as how important it is to be a patient advocate because we've all been through that at some point. I've been through that. So it's not like the scene didn't really, didn't touch me in some sort of way. But in a lot of ways, it didn't really do anything for me either because it didn't really go anywhere. And the only thing that was actually there for was just a tool for Felicia to be like, oh, I want to be a patient advocate now. It's just like the scene yesterday with Wyatt and Jake. Just damn near completely pointless. So, Cyrus is the boss. You know, I'm cool with it. I mean, granted, once you get past the whole gender swap thing, because I'm pretty sure at one point the boss is supposed to be a woman, but whatever. The fact that, whoever this mystery boss is start going after Sunny made sense. I mean, Cyrus and Sunny does have a history, so it kind of does work out. Now, the thing that's actually really interesting about this scene is that Austin was the person that saved Nicholas' life. So the whole time, and some people have suspected this, and I didn't see it coming, is that Austin and Mason was working together this entire time, right? He knew that he was alive and everything like that. I didn't see that coming. So I gotta give GH props. I didn't see that coming. Also, apparently, him and Cyrus actually has this long history going back to when he was a child. And it seemed like at one point in time, he respected him and probably loved him as a father figure. But now he's just like, all right, I'm done. That's it. Like enough is enough. Like I've gave you my gratitude. I've paid you back in so many ways. I'm done and I'm out. And Cyrus pretty much just like, all right, well, safe travels. Now, if Austin actually thinks that it's just that easy to sit there and leave, um, then he's pretty stupid at this point. He's just pretty dumb. Anna, at this point, I'm gonna be honest. Every time she has a conversation with somebody, it's just pretty much about the same thing, and it goes nowhere. It's always about the house fire. She's always going sad about it because of the memories and everything like that, and it doesn't go anywhere. And it's also just making me wonder, is she actually looking for who the shooter is? Because every time I see her, she's always either talking to somebody about her feelings, about how the house burnt down, and, somebody's after me, and they're trying to destroy my life. And it's like, it doesn't matter who she's talking to. If she's talking to Sunny, if she's talking to Jordan, it's the same conversation that goes nowhere. Also, Sunny wants to sit there and give her protection. And she talks about, no, I don't want to do it because of my privacy. I'm like, privacy's not going to do any good if you're dead. Okay? Privacy is going to do you no good if you're dead. Your pride can only take you so far in this world. And some people have to learn that the hard way. Gladys. Gladys, Gladys, Gladys. Gladys is like the gift that just keeps on giving. Apparently, she's going to conscience. She sees Sasha so strung out that she just had enough. And when she talks to the doctor, she's like, I want this thing to be done. I want her out. Like, that's it. And the doctor's like, all right, fine. You make that happen for 50K. Now she's all like, "Oh, where am I going to get the money from?" And I'm kind of sitting there looking at this whole thing. I'm like, that's, I don't know. In some ways, I guess it makes sense, but in other ways, it's like you do realize that she owes Miss Wu money, and she is probably more afraid of Selena than she is of you. So, how much of this? How much money you think you're going to get out of Gladys? Speaking of Miss Selena, let me tell you something about Selena at this point. Selena's supposed to come across as this, very scary, like, mob boss, right? The only time that she's actually done something is with Cody. But every other person in this town has talked to Selena in such a disrespectful way. You would sit there and be like, boo, you're supposed to have an image, like a street image, right? But yet you having everybody in town talking to you like they just got it like that, like you just steal on you and it's just totally fine. You got Gladys that owes this woman money and hasn't paid her yet. What does that say about her image? What does that say about her power? I mean, come on now, threaten her, do something. This is ridiculous. And of course, she's going to get talking to her, talking about, well, the games are going to be shut down, so, I'm going to need my money and there's going to be no more credit and stuff. I'm like, at this point, it's like, how afraid should she really be? It's not the first time that she was like, that she's made it very clear that she wants her money and she hasn't gotten it yet. So what are you going to do about it? And Marshall, because at this point, she wants that club. And Marshall's like, it's not going to happen. Now she makes a veiled threat talking about the club is going to go under. You don't have connections and stuff like that. You're not going to really do well. And you're just going to wind up losing the club. Marshall's like, I got this. And as far as your involvement in the club, the games, you just being there, it's a wrap. It's done. And just the way he was sitting there talking to her like he was in charge. And of course, she's sitting there smiling like the devil. But I'm like, until you actually do something that makes you seem like a legitimate threat, I guess he could just sit there and talk to you however the hell he wants. Because I don't see any consequences going to wind up happening to him. Then when she actually does do that, because she was like, well, it's only, as far as finding information on someone that she can use. I'm like, yeah, okay, Selena, why don't you get on that? Like, I don't know. The fear factor with her has just dissipated. And it's dissipated for a long time, but I've just been hoping, be like, all right, maybe she's going to do something, be like, all right, to show her that she's that chick, but nope. Ava Smith asking Sonny the same goddamn thing over and over again. So, did you handle the problem yet? What's going on with Betty? And, Sonny's like, I'm handling it. But he's also like, what are you doing on your end? Talking about as far as work in Austin. And Ava's kind of confused. And Ava's like, I don't know if he's actually, at one point, I thought he was with me. And I don't really know. But, Sonny reminds her, like, you think that if you give over that information that they're just going to hand you the body back, the one bit of leverage that you have, that they have over you, you think they're just going to give it back to you? And at some point, I actually really do sit there and think that that's what Ava actually was thinking. That if I give this information, if I play ball, then I can sit there and get the body back. Drew. Drew seemed like he is content to sit there and stay there. Now, I understand when Carly was like, maybe Diane could sit there and find some sort of loophole or something like that to get you out of, try to sit there and fight the charges. And I understand the idea of, like, trying to reach for some hope that isn't there. But the thing is, you have a little girl that's on the outside. You should be fighting like hell to try to get back to her. Not being like, well, did the crime, gotta do the time. I mean, technically you did it, but whatever. I'm just gonna sit there and take the bullet for you. It's totally fine. And it's like, if Carly is fighting for your freedom more than you are, that's a problem, right? I know that's not just me. That's a general problem. Goddamn Father of the Year at this point, I tell you. I don't know how important this scene was with Dex and Book. All he pretty much said was leave Drew alone. I don't care if Drew is with Cyrus, hanging out or whatever. You just make sure you leave him alone. I don't know. I don't feel like that scene was important enough for just to fill out the actor's contract as far as Dex is concerned, because it was pretty pointless. To be honest, it was pretty pointless. Finally getting some more scenes with Ava and Trina. It seems like it's been a while for somebody who's supposed to be so close to each other and kind of like a mentor to her and stuff. It seems like it's been so long. Um, Trina's outfit was pretty cool. Her hair looked pretty nice. She was on point. They pretty much just kind of caught up. They were mostly talking about Spencer, and Spencer was just kind of like overhearing everything until he came out. Like he just kind of like jumped out of nowhere. But all Spencer and Trina did was just kind of catch up, kiss, have their little cutesy moment. So for the Sabrina fans, I'm just gonna sit there and say this much: enjoy that while it lasts. Okay, enjoy that while it lasts. Because first of all, I mean, granted, I feel like at this point is this whole Sabrina thing is probably going to come to an end. They're probably going to pick it back up at some point, depending on when Nicholas Chavez comes back. But just in general, I feel like yeah, it may be done for a little bit. Also, while it did seem like they have a really nice conversation, Spencer was just sitting there listening, giving advice, just being very supportive. I felt like when they started talking, I felt like when Trina brought up Esme and the living situation and stuff. Um, when I saw the previews, it seems like they kind of get into a bit of a heated argument um, about that subject, which is an unfortunate subject, but it's an unfortunate situation, right? Because Spencer wants to make sure that his baby brother's okay, making sure that Esme doesn't slip back into the old Esme, but that means that they got to sit there and live together, right? Or do that. Yeah, yeah. For the most part, they do gotta live together because I know he's not gonna sit there and take his eyes off of her. He doesn't trust her, and I understand the reasons why he doesn't trust her. But I do feel like at some point, maybe he could sit there and move out. It's not like he doesn't have the money. It's not like he doesn't have the money to sit there and move out somewhere. I mean, let's be honest. He's only just gonna wind up moving into the Metro Court anyway. It's not like they're actually gonna sit there and build him a new set. I feel like that's about it. For the most part, this episode's good. Obviously, the stuff with Sasha, I'm really enjoying. I could have did without the whole Stella and whatever that girl's name was, just for a tool to get Felicia to be a patient advocate. I could have did without that whole scene. I really could have. Um, and like I said, I'm just kind of tired of Anna just having the same conversation with different people about the same thing. They sit there looking like they eating foods and stuff like that. None of them has touched that damn plate, but whatever. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else that wound up happening. So, if I missed anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, YNR, Days, B&B, and GH. Yeah. Also, if you're not a member, definitely think about joining. We do have a lot of fun on the weekends, and we have conversations that we don't typically have during the normal live streams. So you definitely want to sit there and check that out by hitting the join button below. And with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.